Hi friends, this is Suzy, your Candy Crush guru. It is March 26th, 2025, and I am here to talk about the Candy Crush Saga All Stars event for 2025. If you find these videos helpful, please like and subscribe. Alright, so I promised I would get a kind of a map of the dates, a calendar of the events. I did not promise it would be accurate. As a matter of fact, I'm always nervous about this. Numbers are not my thing. I would love for you folks to edit me. And if y'all find any problems, alert me. I will redo this whole grid and I will send out another video so that we're on track. If we've got something major, if I misspelled the word chance, I'm not doing it. But if I've got the dates wrong, I've got the times wrong, or even the spots wrong, let me know and I will correct it. So let's talk about those dates, times, and spots. I've tried to color code everything. We've got a series of qualifiers. One has passed already. We started this March 20th. I made it into this qualifying group. You don't have to get into the first qualifying group. You can get into the second qualifying group and there's still time. Now I know it's the 26th. I know that it has already been going for a couple of days. I wouldn't worry about that. If you start right away, you're in with fully invested, aggressive people who are going to score tons and tons of points. In the qualifiers, this doesn't really hold for the knockout rounds, but in the qualifiers, if you hold off, you can get in with a group of slackers, most likely, and be able to nail a win. Because if you get in the first spot, you get a bigger prize package than if you get in the fifth spot. But 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, all of those still get that ticket that allows us to advance. So I wouldn't worry so much about the size of the prize. If you're trying to win this event, just getting into the fifth spot should get you a ticket to advance. So those of us who advance get to start with the first knockout round basically the same day that the second qualifier ends. It ends at 3 a.m. and then at 9 a.m. we turn around and we have the first knockouts. Now, if you just stayed up late this night and, struggled to get a win for the qualifier, you may not want to start playing right away on this day. Even though this is a knockout, I don't think it would hurt too much if you lagged a day or two. I'm not going to tell you you should. You need to do what you think is best. Me, I'm going to lag because I just don't have the stamina to do all of the days for all of the events. And I'm not so bent on trying to make it through to the very end. I'm sure I won't. I expect I may drop out right around here. That's about where I go. I could drop out here. Sometimes I even just forget to play and then I've dropped out, by default. Anyway. So we're going to start with the first knockout round on the 27th. You can see this is divided because we're going to be finishing up. We're going to be, for the second qualifier, those who didn't qualify in the first qualifier. Then we start and we go through to the 31st. Remember that these times, dates and times, are given in Eastern Daylight Savings Time. If you live in a different area, you do have to adjust for yourself. If you're in California, it's not going to be 3 a.m. for you. It's going to be 1 a.m., I believe. No, it's going to be midnight. I think it's midnight. Yeah, it's going to be midnight. Again, don't trust me with numbers. Do your own work. Anyway, you adjust it for yourself so that you know when these are going to be ending. Okay, so now we've gone through the first knockout round. What happens if you never made it into a qualifier, you lost during the qualifier, or you lost during the first knockout round? Well, they're going to give you a second chance. Now, the second chance is much more difficult than the qualifiers and even more difficult than the first knockouts. And here's the reason, the primary reason. It is because there are 2 rounds. And you have to compete in both rounds. And first of all, you have to be invited. You might have blown it on this qualifier and you don't get invited. Can't do anything about it. But if you're invited, and I think they try to invite everybody, they just talk about it as an invitation in case you don't get the opportunity. So if you're invited, first you have to do the chance one, round one that starts on the 31st and goes through to the 1st. So less than 24 hours. And you have to be in one of the top 3 spots, not the top 5 spots. If you make it into the top 3 spots, you're not done. You're still not back in the competition. You should have the opportunity then to participate in Second Chance 1 Round 2. Starts on April 2nd, goes to April 3rd, and here you have to get into the top spot. You have to complete both portions of the second chance. You can't just win this one and get back in. You have to win this one and then win this one on the heels of this. Okay, and if you do that, then you get to participate in the second knockouts. But realize you're going to be ending at 3 a.m. on April 3rd, and 9 a.m. on April 3rd starts that second knockouts. And it goes for several days, and it ends on April 7th, if I'm correct. And then if you have been knocked out or haven't participated or something untoward happened, in any one of these, you may get an invitation for a second chance to round 1 and 2. And first you have to complete round 1, set up very similarly, except notice top 3 spots. Here you have to make it into the top spot. That's the other thing. You always have to make sure when you are aiming for a target that you understand everything about the target. So I believe with this you have to be in the top spot for both rounds. So if you get into the top spot here, you then have to participate the next day, April 9th through the 10th, and get through to the top spot again. That would put you back in the race, and the final knockouts start on the 10th as well. So this is a bit different to last year because at least there's a little bit of a gap between the final knockout rounds. I like that. I still don't like the way this whole competition is organized. If it were me, I would do it differently. I think it's torture on your body, on your brain, on your nerves. But at least they have given us a little bit of a break. So the first knockout round, not between the second chance and the first knockout though. This starts on the day that it ends. This ends at 3 a.m. This starts at 9 a.m. You can see it's all color-coded. We go through to the 14th. You have to be in the top spot, not top 3, not top 5, top spot for the final knockouts. This is just round 1. It's not like the qualifiers where you participate in one or the other qualifier. If you make it through this round, you have to go to the second round. It's more like the second chance thing. But it's even more dynamic because if you make it through into the top spot in the second final knockout round, then you get to go to round 3. And this is the last one before the live event. This determines which folks will go to the live event. It's less than 24 hours. It starts on April 26th. And you have to play, I would say, plan to play as much of that almost 24 hours as you can, because other people will be playing and they'll try to guarantee the top spot on their leaderboard. At this point in time, I think there are only going to be 10 leaderboards. So if you delay and wait until the last few hours, people will have been playing already. You will not survive if you show up late. Everyone will be assertive here. Everyone will be gunning for it who has a chance of making it to the top. Now, some people might go, yeah, I just wanted to see how far I can get, but I'm not really interested in this. So I'm not saying absolutely everybody will be playing, but enough of those folks will be playing that you won't make it if you don't start right away and play. Play like there's no tomorrow. just keep going. So, if you make it through this, you need to be able to travel to California June 11th through 13th inclusive. Last year, they had like a 10-day window. Here, it's very tight. I think what has happened is previously, Candy Crush has tried to do all of these big star type things, and we've all gone, what? Why is there a Kardashian doing this? And then the Kardashian doesn't even show up. Why are all of these rappers involved? And I think that they're trimming that out. At least I haven't. Maybe I just missed the buzz. I might have missed the buzz. I didn't pay attention. But it would make sense that they're going to have just a tighter window of travel if they don't have a lot of other things to juggle. Which is kind of sad because it looks like you're just going to be recording the entire time and maybe not get the chance to explore around LA very much. Anyway, the live final only takes 10 people. So what happens if you participate in the final knockouts and it's 3 hours before the end of the event and you've been competing and you can't break first place into first place. You're in second place and you've been stuck there. And maybe you have a good lead, maybe you don't, but you've been stuck there and you can't break into first place. Keep going. If you're anywhere in the top 5, I would say keep going. You never know what can happen. People might be called out for cheating, and so you advance up. You might find that on your leaderboard, you end up in third place and the top 2 people cannot travel. Maybe someone's only 17. Maybe they really didn't want to participate. Maybe they don't want to sign the paperwork, or they don't have the documentation, the visas required to enter the country. Keep going. I would say even top 10, but certainly top 5. If you're in the top 5, keep going. You never know what can happen. So that is my rundown of the dates and times. I hope I am correct. Please correct me if I am not. If you have any other questions, put those down as well. And as always, thank you so much for watching and good luck. Bye-bye.